the Great Reset. First and foremost, the lighting. I have a big softbox there with a grid on it. You see it in the light. But also, if you notice, there's a bit of blue on the side of my head here because I got an LED panel here that's shining down, and then obviously the LEDs behind gives it a little bit of atmosphere. I was going to talk about resetting. I just drove down from Dublin to Lagos. I'd recommend those little trips. It was challenging. Weather conditions were challenging the whole way. The boat was bumpy. It was 4-meter swells. I was meant to go down the Bay of Biscay, but it was 6-meter swells and it was cancelled. So I thought, like, fuck that. So I went to Cherbourg, and that was wobbly, but it was good. I mean, it's not like being on a plane where it's wobbly. You're just on a boat, it just rocks you backward and forward. Have a couple of beers and fall asleep. So on the drive, I hit like pea soup fog. It's like fucking really, really thick. Once it got dark in France, and it got to the stage where I couldn't see 3 lines in front of me, pulled into a gas station that I missed one exit, and then I just couldn't see where the fucking exit was. And I was gonna stay, and then thought, fuck, I need to get going. So I had 1,500k left to go. So I jumped in behind a truck as much as I could. Got to northern Spain, stayed there the night, and then drove on down. So in the drive, that kind of solitude is kind of magnified. It's almost like it's like a few months in a couple of days. It's bizarre because you're not speaking to anybody really, you know. You're just gonna listen to your music, listen to podcasts, listen to audiobooks. And I was thinking, actually, that time, isn't it? It's early, but it's the weekend. La weekend, as the French say. Decided to do a reset. What I was doing was good for the last few months. Well, the last 11 months, which was really working on myself. But it didn't have much of it had a bit of structure, but not much of a structure. It didn't have didn't write down the day before what I was going to do, or I wasn't working off a plan. I was just waking up in the morning, and then I'll do my yoga, I'll do my lifting, I'll do some training, but I'm easily distracted, very easily distracted. So if you don't write down exactly what I'm meant to do, I might just go halfway through a rep, go, fuck it, or halfway through a rotation, go, fuck it, or halfway through a Bates method, go, that's enough. But if I have it written down, I do good. If I'm doing something for somebody else rather than myself, I do better. So when I was riding the bike, if someone was in the yellow jersey and I was riding for them, I'd ride myself into fucking, into the ground, but I couldn't do that for myself. So what I've done is a couple of things. Well, here's a book I'm reading. Carl Jung, The Philosophy of Kundalini Yoga. And I'll show you why I'm reading that, because I've decided to ditch the internet. This is a phone, old-fashioned phone. So here's the thing. I probably waste, if you think about it, the great pandemic at the moment is fucking technology, phones. I was looking at a bunch of kids there earlier on. There was like 8 of them. I'd say all under the age of 12. All of them are that. All of them. Not talking to each other, through fucking memes and shit like that. And forced to say I'm addicted to the fucking thing. When you pick up a phone and you text somebody or you ring someone or it calls, you pick it up and it feels nice. This thing feels fucking horrible. Like, it feels horrible in the hand. I just want to, I don't even want to talk on it, and I just want to get rid of it and put it back down again. Whereas when I pick up the phone, I talk, hey, how you doing, blah, 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 and then I put it down. It's like, I wonder what's happening with the Liver King and shit, scrolling, and all of a sudden I fuck, I'll just lie down, put my feet up. So I was going to go cold turkey, but that's not going to work. It's like doing a diet. It's not going to work. You can't do a diet. You have to do a lifestyle. So I gotta have a little bit of a deal with myself. So this is what I have all day. I get up in the morning, I do my yoga, do my stretching, lift, then I'm going to check my emails. and I'm going to check WhatsApp on the computer. Then I'm going to spend my day with this, do my training, and when I'm finished training, I'll check my emails and I'll check my WhatsApp, and that's it. And no social media. So otherwise, if I check it on the phone, you're just into it, aren't you? And even if you don't have the apps, you can still fucking Google it. So that's what I've decided to do. Because if I went completely cold turkey, things like banking, the bank sent you a text to confirm shit to your fucking phone. You're gonna have to have it's very difficult now to get out of it completely. But I think this is a good truce where I just check it after training, not before training, because I'm gonna get distracted. And so when I'm finished doing the major stuff, I give it a half an hour each day. That's all it's getting. Because I'd say, if you were being honest with yourself, 30 to 50% of your time during the day, waking day, is wasted on the phone. At least that. So if I take that out of it, I'm going to have 30 to 50% more time to do more shit. And I was out with Ivan, he invited me over for dinner the other day. And I said to him, I'm running out of time. And he took it as, I don't know why he took it as, but I am running out of time. In this lifetime, I've done pretty much everything that I need to do. There's nothing much more I need to do. There's a couple of things I need to do, but not much more. Like if I check my list of all the shit that I've done, I've got a lot done. So now I need to be urgent about what I need to do now. So I need structure in order to get more out of it. Instead of just doubling down and doing more stuff and being random, you're still wasting a lot of energy on this fucking thing. So that's got to get back in place. So I've got a new camera. This is what I'm shooting on now. I got a new car and I got a new fucking bike. So all of those things are going to pay for themselves, especially the camera, because now I'm going to start doing some commercial stuff. Now I want to start doing some photographs, and I want to start doing some videos. We were out shooting with this guy there recently that was doing glamour shots, and they're shy. And even the best guys out there, they're just, I think I'm better. I think I'm better. And if I concentrate on doing some hard quality time with some stuff, I really think I can create some good shit. So you just need a muse. Well, I have a muse, but everyone needs a muse just to kind of practice on. And yeah, I'm going to really get into that for a little bit and make some really nice lit stuff. One of my other 12-month goals is to get Joe Hoey's name out there. Joe Hoey's this fucking fantastic dude. That's a good friend of mine. It's been great with me for the last year. That is that phone making a fucking, I don't know what it's doing, but it's me sending me messages. I don't know. So Joe Hoey is he's a life strategist. He's just a fucking, I don't know where to start with him, but he's just a brilliant guy. Makes a big difference to people that meet him. So I want to get him out there. I want to get his name out there because he's not tech based. He doesn't know much about tech. So what I did was he wrote this book, a fantastic book, and everyone that I've given it to has thought it's fantastic. And it's The Mind of a Champion. And you don't have to be an athlete, but you just have to have the mind of a champion. So I decided to make an audio book for him. So I sat there while he read the whole book. It took about 6 hours. Fell asleep a few times because I had me lying on his plinth that he does his treatments on, because he does hypnotherapy as well. And it has this heated mat with crystals in it. And he was doing some hypnosis in it, but I kind of drifted off a little bit. So that audiobook will be out soon. I've sent it to a couple of people, but just to check it. I've started on a new lifting program. I bought a lifting program in order to give me a structure in what to do. So what I do is I write down the program that I'm doing, and I write down the stuff, the kind of the kind of warm up, for a better word. It's all the breakdowns of the lifts before you actually do the lifts. And then when I've done all the lifts, I got this book. This book is where it's a training journal. Warrior Within. Don't fear death, fear the unlived life. And it's basically a hardback, not too thick, so you can bring it anywhere. It's light. It's got a great little head of a fucking like samurai on the back of it, and it has. Usually, what happens with a training door is you got the date in it. But this isn't. There's my 4 days training, and it makes me write really really nicely, and it just has quotes at the top from samurai, Japanese warriors, and it's just fantastic. And you put whatever date, and then you put down what you've done in the day. So what I'm doing with the lifts is when I do the lift, I'll write down in between the set what I need to correct. So for instance, my biggest thing would be the extension on the lift. I was lifting with my upper body instead of using my quads and my glutes and extending up that triple extension, which I've good quads and good glutes, but just not lifting with my upper body. And that's the biggest issue. I'm not looking to lift big weight doing the Olympic lifting. I'm just looking to make gains in my mobility, gains to make it look good and make it look fast. The weight will come later. So I've really gone back to square one, taken the weight down, and I did a few lessons when I was back in Dublin with a guy that I met in the Olympic lifting course. Tammy has this guy called Coach from Malaysia. So went to a couple of his classes, and then Mark showed me some stuff as well, Tammy's husband, and that's made a big difference. Now it's a case of taking down the weight, having a structure, having a program to do every day rather than me going in, getting distracted by something and half-arsing it. I'm at it too long now for the gains that I have. So, this book, it's just, there's quotes by Miyamoto Musashi. Generally speaking, the way of the warrior is the absolute acceptance of death. Miyamoto Musashi. And then you put your date and you put your stuff. It's brilliant. All these little quotes here. I'll leave a link for it. It's on Amazon. Tenner. Buy it. Get yourself fucking organised. So that's what I'm going to do. Get in shape properly. Concentrate on my jiu-jitsu as well. I was down with Kieran Davern. We're going to do an excellence camp. We haven't figured out a name for it yet, but it's going to be schooling. It's going to be jiu-jitsu based, but not rounds. Because what happens with a lot of camps is people come and they just do rounds, where I want to do it where you're just drilling, schooling methods. And Kieran Davern has got some fantastic methods that he's come up with. And I'm going to do that in April. I'm going to look to bring some big names for that. Joe Howie's going to be one for the psychology. Going to look to bring the doc for his wisdom of medical stuff. I'm going to look to bring Tristan Kennedy for his wisdom of food and all things dietary. It's double masters. I'm going to look to bring Ido Portal. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because I just want to do something that nobody's ever done before, which is just a school-based. You're just going to drill, write down stuff, have a PDF. We have a videographer coming as well. She's really excellent. And that's going to be videoed. And then you're going to get the video and the PDFs of all the stuff that you did. And that's what I'm going to look to do in April. That's going to be my first kind of big camp that I've put on for next year. So get Joe Hoey's name out there. Get the big camp on. Get stuck into my training, make bigger returns for the amount of time I will save by not scrolling and not wasting my time. I'm going to make more content. The camera's got to pay for itself. I'm going to do I have a photo shoot with a model next week. She's a fitness instructor, so that's going to be my first one for a while. So I'm going to shoot that in the gym, and I'm going to do something kind of special with that. I'm going to do kind of 3 flashes using some gels and some colors and just make it kind of like pop, and just, you know, do what a lot of people aren't doing, which is just really, really kind of concentrate on the aesthetics of it, but also on the lighting. I mean, a lot of people, especially with chicks want to look flawless. You don't want to see, like, you don't want a hard light on them. You want a soft light. You want like a soft box. You want to, like, you can't be using just rare, bare bulb flashes on a chick. Dudes, yeah, because they want that kind of like, you know, lines in their faces and scars and all that kind of shit, so they look like they're tough dudes, you know. But women, they want to look, you know, flawless. So that's going to be next week. And then plan a few little trips on the new gravel bike, the 51. So that's the update so far. So it's going to reset everything, write down everything. I'm going to start reading at night my Kundalini book by Carl Jung, journaling after every session. So I have a structure on what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to add in the martial arts stuff as well. So we're working on some new stuff that I learned when I was away, boxing, jiu-jitsu, and just reset. Just reset. So that is it. That's all for today. Was there anything else I needed to cover? No. The reason why I'm doing these videos is, one is to talk to camera, but two is to really now to start working on making sure I have the audio correct, making sure I have the lighting correct, make sure I have the lens correct, and make sure I have a look that I'm looking to trying to produce. Because when I start to do commercial stuff, I want it to look like this kind of stuff, and me just talking is just a record for myself. If people want to look at it, grand. If you get something out of it, great, but it's really for myself. It's not for anybody else. And like I say, they're not cries for help. I'm not depressed. I'm not going to kill myself. And most of them are just thinking out loud. They all are thinking out loud. Who else is going to talk to me? So that's it for today. I'll let you know how we're getting on with the without the phone. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think it's a good arrangement. You know, check twice a day, and then I'm just not wasting half my day on bullshit. And that's it. All right. So till the next one, we are all one. Hare Krishna. Namaste. Did I say Hare Krishna? Say it again. Hare Krishna.